Greetings, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett, and we just finished our other video about 3JS, and now we're working on this, and we are actually working on probably my very least favorite part of software development, and that's deployments. Find deployments to be confusing, and it's like there's certain for example, regular expressions is a concept in computing that is so powerful. But I do it so rarely that I can never get any like muscle memory. I can't get good at it. And it kind of seems like it changed. Like every time I need something, it's like so different. And I find that deployments are the same way. It's like you run into regular problems and all that, but it seems like what happens is that you end up running into these issues, solving the issues, and then you don't deal with it for a long time, maybe years before you run into those issues again. But, so we have it running locally, everything's working. Oh, one thing I did learn is that it has to be on HTTPS. And it looks like this, I guess this is HTTPS. Yeah, so I didn't have to do anything. This is at DreamHost. At DreamHost, I had to sign up for a certificate for this page, and so now there's a certificate on this page. And then localhost, you don't need a certificate, and it works here, right? If I go hello, and then if I go over to I like email voice, and I go to discrete, hello. Let's see, so 77%. I said it different, 78. So the first way I said it, it definitely understood me better. Um, and then over here, wah wah, can't get there. Now, I think if I type in discrete here, and then if I click this, it works. And then I can go, hello. Then I think that was my best score. 78, yeah. So so I have some sort of routing issue, and this is a home, like nothing. ChatGPT probably can't help me with this because this is like some code that I just wrote sort of on my own to get like this tabs and stuff to work the way I wanted them to work. Um, so I need to figure that out, and I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here. And it's gonna kind of be this is where things get weird, where it's easy to get mentally fragmented. I don't know if that's really a word, but the idea that like it would be very easy to have different sets of code deployed to different places. Um, so like I want to do iBuild, right? So that's I'm guessing for I like email build, and then and push my code out there, and then I want to do a GH build, which I guess is my for my GitHub, and then I want to do a GH deploy. And the thing is so Angular has a CLI for GH pages, which is really cool. Um, and we had to tweak that a little bit to get that to work. Who knows if this will even work in 6 months, I mean, or if, so anyway, so I think the problem is that if we go in here, oh, and see, this has gotten more complex because I had for DreamHost, I had to create a new HT access page, and then I created an index page at ilikeemail.com, and I put that here. I'm assuming I'll have other tools in the future at ilikeemail.com, so that means, yeah, it's going to be weird. It probably needs its own repo for the index page, but we'll worry about that in the future. Let's I just can't think of a good way to do it now. If I could think of a good way to do it now, I probably would do it now, but let's go to our source code and our app, and then I believe the problem is probably maybe in this VA navigation service. No, probably in the app component. Yeah, this guy. This is my problem. So I'm guessing that the URL is different. I'm guessing the URL there doesn't have the word voice. It probably has Angular Web Analyzer. And so replacing voice worked for this guy, but it did not work for this guy. So there's a couple choices, right? One is we could try to figure out how to make it go to voice over in Angular or at Git. We could also update this code. Um, and instead of replacing voice, probably what we need to do is we need to grab the last thing. Whatever, like do a split. So, um, so that we, and then just take the very, very last value, which I think would work. So like we could do like something like this. So I don't know, const um, um, parts is equal to URL dot split, and who knows if this is even gonna like end up being problematic in some other. And then so I think we could just do like, so locally I think what we'll have is, and I hate coding like this in general, but locally what I believe what we'll have is a just a slash and the split. So that'll be, it'll just be like an array that only has one value in it. But over here, it'll have an array with two values. It'll have voice and discrete, for example, on this one. So then we just want the last one. And then this one, I think it'll have two values. It'll have Angular Web Speech Analyzer and discrete. So I think that's what will happen with this URL. And I kind of hate how I can't really um, get the um, how I can't really step through all of it, but it's just like trying to deploy code with, I don't know, like uh, um, console logs, and then I can go in there. It just isn't worth the trouble, I don't think. So I think what we want is parts dot. There's so many things now. Is it pop? It's either pop or unshift. What does pop do? Removes the last element. Okay, so that's what we want. We want to remove the last element from this parts. So let's try this. Control V. Now, so expected URLs. Are slash path. I'll just use one, slash dot discrete. Local. let's do it this way. Oh, no, we do want the slash. I think it is going to be voice slash discrete. Or I like emo. Slash discrete. Discrete. Act. Here, let's just go ahead and copy this whole thing. And this should, like, if somebody else were to pull this down and deploy it somewhere, this should work for them too. So I think that I think this should work. So let's try it. Let's go to the API page and then go to discrete. Okay, so it still works. Let's just make sure we didn't create any sort of console error. No. I guess we should at least take a quick peek. Console.log parts. Yeah, so we got, okay, so actually we got two parts. We got the, that's interesting. Okay, so we're going to show the URL and then the parts that we got. So the URL is slash.continuous, which is what we expected. I did not think we were going to get two things. So we got an empty and that. So I think this works. So, and this is like hard. A lot of times the people who are doing the deployment are on a whole different team. So then trying to work through things like this is a real pain in the butt. And a lot of times like your boss and the boss of that team don't get along. So it's not fun. These are just not fun issues. But I guess what we want to do is go npm build. Let's go to our package, close everything else. So this, I guess we want to commit this. I don't even know how I normally do these. I think I put the video name, Web Analyzer 144. Adjust. Deployments. Do add. Nope. Now, let's try that again. 144. That is half the videos that I've done for the 3JS and yeah, so that's crazy. All right, so we're going to do a build. We want to build an iBuild. iBuild. Yeah. I don't even know if that's still going to work. I don't know if we changed something in that when we, for this, I don't know. npm run build iBuild. I can't even remember why we have this base. Oh, that's right. We had to do that for for so that the things all the code would load once we've deployed it. All right, so we have our new code. So let's go to, I'm gonna go to my DreamHost account. I'll do that off screen. Oh, I don't need to go, probably don't need to go there. What I need to do is launch my FTP. P. Hello? Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Anybody at all? Oh, there we go. FileZilla. I think that's what it's called. I don't know what happened. There it is. Wow, it took over the whole screen. All right. And looks like I did that last. Let's see. Going to my ilikeemail.com main. See if this works. Server's host key is unknown. Right. So I think I want to delete everything but I have an htaccess file out there. So I wanted, but I have like a bunch of other files. All of these files here are out there right now, so I want to get rid of those. Delete. And then I want to go over here and just make sure they're gone. Yeah, so that's good. And now over here in my FTP thing, and I just don't know if I'm showing information when I do this FTP that might get me trouble. Like, not like legal trouble or anything like that, but like get hacked. I mean, I definitely don't want to like be all like, oh, I'm not hackable. I just hope that my stuff's not worth hacking. Okay, so that seems to work. All right, so that's good. Now let's try our GH build. That is a very, like, man, of all things, like being like knowing like getting really good at like continuous integration, continuous deployment is it seems to be a very, very good and highly paid, profitable thing. I think it is. Well, they kind of have to pay you pretty good because, like, stuff that could hurt your company when you're in that role. Okay, so on GH deploy. So let's see if this works. This is very mysterious to me what this is all doing, but apparently it actually commits things to GitHub. It creates a branch. I don't know if it deletes the old one. Like, I don't know what it does. Like, if you've already done it once, I think we got it to work, and then it's uploaded. So it looks like it built it too. Oh, I guess it did. Oh, yeah. It looks like all we had to do was the deploy, deploy. Okay, so supposedly we have new stuff out there. I don't even know how we'll be able to tell. probably need to get my inspector tools on. I have it set up where uh, there's no caching. Yeah, cache is disabled when the inspector tool's on. So, yes. Okay. I think we're good. I think this is good to go. So all that's really left is to make a small video, like a 3-minute video that just shows how everything works. I definitely want to feel like 100% when I do that. Um, and it's going to be like the whole screen, um, like that. And I'll just be like, this is my voice analyzer. This is what this means. This is what that means. The API. These are all the what is expected. If you see anything that other than all greens, you're going to. That means that the property. Well, this is what it means, right? If it's green, that the property existed in summer 20 and still exists. Property existed in summer 2025 but no longer exists in August 1st, 2025. Property was added after. And this actually happened once, and then you will also get an indicator up here if anything's off, and then discrete, and be like, hello. I always forget how to um, do Japanese. It's like er, Eriko. I can't even remember. See, how do you pronounce hello in Japanese? Probably should do Spanish. Konnichiwa, yeah. So that it's like konnichiwa, and I'm assuming that that is hello in. And it is kind of funny because I got 91% in Japanese and an 82% in English, which is hilarious. And then continuous and all that. And it probably does make sense also to do edge, so we could show the difference. Yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, so then it's like show continuous. Hello, how are you? What is your name? Where do you live? How's it going? Yeah, something is not working right. Okay, so this used to work. No, it's not. I wonder if is it just broken out there? Hello, how are you? What is your name? Okay, that is crazy. Oh, okay, Val is crazy. I wonder who Val is. Um, okay, so that is something I would never expected is why in the hell does it work different in different URLs on the same browser? Hello, how are you? What is your name? How you doing? That is crazy. Man, the inconsistencies are just shocking. I said, man, the inconsistencies are just shocking. I said, man. I said, Manny. All right, let's try this again. We're not, or, oh, Oh, we were in Japanese. Okay, so that makes sense. Hello, how are you? What is your name? Okay, that makes a little more sense. Oh, maybe not. See, it is acting different. It's like slower. Yeah, that's bizarre. That is absolutely bizarre. But anyways, now let's try this one. Oh, I like that better than the Google one. But it's weird because it's only gives me like one choice. No, I like the Google one better because like it only gives me one choice, and that's to allow, and it's probably forever. And I would rather it just be once, but it looks like that is one difference. Hello, how are you? What is your name? That is crazy. So you notice that what's different, it's very different. Um, so anyways, now if we come over here, I'm curious now if I refresh. Hello, how are you? What is your name? See, that's a bummer, right? Because I didn't want to always approve it forever and ever. Try it again. Let's see. Yeah, that stinks. That's such a bummer. I do not like the way Microsoft did that with Edge. It's so funny. At first I thought I liked Chrome better, but let's see. Yeah, gotta let it forever. Hello, how are you? What is your name? So I think it's very, very consistent. It definitely seems slower though, coming from GitHub than than uh, I like email, and I suspect that it's probably because there's like additional like analysis happening by the GitHub people um, on the traffic that's coming in and out of their servers, which is their right, and that was kind of the point of this stuff is like, hey, your data, and there's so much information that can be taken and figured out from your voice. Um, they could tell so many things about you based on your accent and your voice and your inflections and stuff like that. They all kind of, I don't even know what all they could do, but I definitely worked at a company where they employed a lot of linguists, and the linguists could determine so much stuff about you um, based on your voice. But anyways, that is that. Yeah, next is make a short video showing how this stuff works. Um, and then I will put that in here so that people can play it and see how to use this thing and then experiment, do their experimenting. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.